But I want to tell you about how I learned how to drive. And that was in the 80s in East Germany. And driving school in East Germany had really four parts to it. And obviously there was the theory, and then the second part was something I've never seen anywhere else. It was basically a Stone Age version of driving of a video game. So there was this big room and there were stationary toy cars. And so there was a projector who would put a movie that kind of made you feel like you were actually driving this little car. There'd be the instructions, and everything you did was kind of recorded on what looked like almost like a heart rate monitor kind of thing. And so at the end of the exercise, you take that piece of paper, you show it to the driver instructor, and they would go, it's like, oh, okay, over here you would brake so hard, you would have hit your head on the windscreen. Over here, you would have stalled the engine. Over there, you would have taken out the woman on the sidewalk. And only after you've actually managed to pass their tasks were you allowed to sit in a real car with a driving instructor, but still only in a confined area. And there were other tests, and only once you've passed those were you allowed to actually on the road with your driving instructor until you actually took the exam, right? So, and still, actually, when I had my license, like those first few, whatever, 1,000 kilometers, I wasn't exactly a confident driver, because that took a while to really, really get the hang of that. And that has popped to mind quite often in the context of what coach training usually involves. Basically, when you do coach training, you get the theory, you get the toy cars, and then you get your certificate. And next thing you know, you're sitting and by yourself in a car, and you're in London or New York traffic, and you go, holy shit, like how the heck? So newly trained 3P coaches get to work with real clients, but with a mentor supervising and helping out and getting them so they can basically break through that chicken and egg thing. You know, when you're new, you don't really have confidence. If you don't have confidence, you can't enroll clients, and without clients, you can't get the experience that gets you the confidence. Basically, it's designed to break through that. If you were a client, it's basically a little bit like a hairdressing school, where you can go and get a supervised trainee haircut for next to nothing, right? And this would be a great idea if you would love to try out what it's like to work with a coach, right? It involves 4 private sessions where it's you, your coach, and a mentor listening in, and spread out over the period of over 6 weeks. And you can bring anything to the table, right? So it's great if you want to try out what it actually feels like. It's great if you could use some support but don't have the funds to pay, you know, a coach what they normally charge. And it's also great if you just want to have a new perspective on something that you've been kind of mulling over for a while. So I'll put the details for both of those things in the comments. And if you've got any questions, let me know.